So just ignore whatever's going on back there. I switched my bed to a futon, so that's why there's like sticks on the wall and stuff. But here is why you procrastinate on your side hustles and how to escape $0 a month. So I tried starting like a ton of different side hustles in the past. I tried starting an agency. I tried like drop shipping like phone cases where there's like an astronaut on the back, and that was like that pop socket basically. I tried starting like a TikTok core account, and I tried starting a self improvement YouTube channel that was faceless, and a bunch of different other ones over like many years until now. I've started to make money online from this YouTube channel, and I teach people how to do the same. So the first reason why you procrastinate on your side hustles and stuff is that you don't have a clear enough goal. Basically, like you have like basically like a super vague idea of your dream lifestyle, and the lifestyle you kind of want to live, that Sigma male alpha, Andrew Tate whatever lifestyle, I don't know, with like the Audi R8, and you want to live in Dubai and stuff. But it has so many missing pieces. Like there's so many missing parts to it, and you don't even have like a clear idea in your mind. You just kind of are like, yeah, it would be kind of cool if I lived that lifestyle, but I don't really like, it's super vague, and you don't like actually genuinely want to live that lifestyle because you don't even have an idea of what it is. So that means that since it's not specific, you can't imagine yourself in that goal life because like there's so many missing pieces. There's like a bunch of different blank spots. Like think of it as like a GTA map. It's like so unclear like what you actually want your life to look like. Like there's a bunch of different blacked out spots on like the GTA map, if you know what I'm talking about. But you can't even imagine yourself in that position because you don't even know what that position is. So you don't see it as achievable because there's so many missing pieces, and there's so many parts of it that you haven't even thought about, haven't even researched. You just are like, man, I want like Latina girlfriend, or like an Audi R8, or like I want to live in the Burj Khalifa or something. And so as a result, you don't see being in that Alpha Sigma Tate lifestyle like that you see on like the YouTube shorts and stuff, with like the motivational, like inspirational stuff on like YouTube shorts and TikTok and stuff. You can't actually see that as achievable, and you think like, that's just for Sigmas and I'm only a beta, because you can't visualize it fully. You don't even know the full context of it. And you don't see it as achievable, even though it actually isn't as hard as you think. And the process can actually be enjoyable if you make it so. It's your choice. Do you want to make it super hard on yourself and you need a ton of discipline that you don't have, and you want to, live that David Goggins lifestyle to achieve that life? Or do you actually want the process itself, the journey? They say like the it's more important about the journey than destination, something like that. But it'd be better if the journey itself was also enjoyable and also the destination, like you get the best of both worlds basically. And that's obviously a lot more ideal. Pretty much everybody would prefer that, like obviously. But your dream lifestyle, your vision, whatever, it seems more like a blurry, like unclear, like dream basically. Dream is a good word to say, instead of an actual goal, like an actual thing to achieve, an actual thing to work towards. Because it would be much better if you had like, I'm going to live in this specific place, in this specific location, and I'm going to live this specific lifestyle, and I'm going to have this specific schedule, and this is what, my house is going to look like, this is what the interior is going to look like, this is what my girlfriend's going to act like, and like this is what her attitude's going to be like, her character traits and stuff like that. If you have everything super clear, then you can have that as a goal to work towards. Otherwise, you don't have anything to work towards. You don't even know what you're working towards. Hopefully that makes sense. But the second reason is that you don't have a big enough goal. So the first one was clear, second one was big. So you don't give yourself a good enough reason to become a Sigma entrepreneur. Like you don't have a big enough goal, or to have a side hustle, to become an entrepreneur, or to have a side hustle, like to be self-employed and not work under a boss. So you don't have that much motivation to work on your side hustle or your business. There's no urgency, there's no actual big reason that's propelling you to actually take action on that, to actually do that. And so you barely work on your business or your side hustle, obviously, and you've probably experienced this a ton. And guess what? Your business flops because you're not working on it. There's so many other people who also want there's some like poor Sri Lankan kid who really wants to, I don't know, get out of his like bad living situation. And you're out here thinking that you can put like 15 minutes a day or like 2 hours of work a week on like a business, and you expect it to actually work out. Like no, there's Sri Lankan kids who are grinding much more than you to live that dream lifestyle. They want the same Audi R8. They want the same living in Dubai. So here is an equation that's going to help you a ton. It's quantity multiplied by quality multiplied by time equals the results that you get. So if you want super good results, then you're going to need to put a lot of quantity of effort every single day into your business. And that effort needs to be really high quality. It needs to be high leverage. Like it actually needs to be meaningful work, deep meaningful work, instead of, like menial tasks like chores and stuff. It actually needs to be quality work. And you need to stick to one thing for a long time. And that's going to get you a bunch of results. That's going to get you a ton of money from your business. I'll explain this in a second, but I actually have two videos that cover Like these two things, quantity and quality. And it's like, stop playing video games, start playing business, the game of life, you know? And this one is called The Simple Reason Why You're Still at $0 a month online. So these two videos are going to be super helpful. I promise I'm not just like shamelessly plugging so you get more. So I promise I'm not like shamelessly plugging so I get more views, because like I'm not trying to get AdSense from these. You could see 55 views and 9 views, whatever. But these two videos are actually super helpful to help you maximize these three variables. And since you multiply all three of them, if this one is really low, like if you constantly switch business models, you have something called shiny object syndrome, where you're always looking at like a new business model. But like these two are really good. You're really good at like spending a lot of time on your business every single day. And you also do pretty high quality work. You actually do meaningful work. It's not like at the end of the day where your eyes are literally starting to close. That used to be me. My eyes already started to close. Then you're not going to get a bunch of results, because this one's still the weakest link, so to say. And that's the same thing for like, let's say you put a lot of quantity and you stick to a business model for a bunch of time, but you do like super low quality work. And same thing for like quality and time, but there's no quantity. So you get what I mean? And if you multiply each one of these, like each of these three variables, think of it as like boxes like this, right? So you have U over here, which is a 1 by 1 by 1 square, where, or like maybe 1 by 1 by 2, maybe like 1 by 2 by 2, but like a pretty small square. You're like a 2 in quantity, you're a 2 in terms of quality, and you're like a 1 in terms of time, for example. So that's just like your traits right now, which obviously you can change. And then let's say like a side hustler making a few K a month. This is supposed to be in dollars. I'm not going to change it right now. But let's say, for example, he has like a 2, or she or they, whatever, has a 2 by 4 by 5, just for an example, 2 by 4 by 5. So let's say that, you know, they don't work on their business model for a long time. So that's like a 2. And, you know, the work that they do, it's not like at the very end of the day where their eyes are literally closing. And it's also not like, you know, right after they wake up and they didn't even brush their teeth yet or like eat breakfast yet. And they're just like fasted and they're just doing a bunch of work first thing in the morning. It's not like either of those extremes. It's maybe like they just came back from school or work. And like the first thing that they do after they come home is that they start working on their business. Let's say that's about a 4. But they stick to their business model, not too long, not too short, but they stick to it a decent amount. So like somewhere in the middle, like a 5. And that gets to them, and that leads to them getting, you know, 2K a month, something like that. And then a good entrepreneur who's like a multimillionaire, and they're like a successful entrepreneur like Naval Ravikant, if you know who that is. Let's say, for example, that they have a 6 by 8 by 5. So, you know, 6, 8, 5, or this can be like 6, 8, 5. You get what I mean? Like, and then a billionaire is like fully maxed out 10 by 10 by 10. So that's like Elon Musk. He's been working in the business for a long time. He spends his entire day on it, and he does super meaningful work at, and he does super meaningful work, and that's like the main focus of what he's doing. So it's not like super low quality work and his brain's tired and stuff. But your desire for instant gratification outweighs your desire for money, right? So let's say that, you know, you come home from school or work or something, you sit down at your computer or whatever, you get out your phone, and you have two choices. You either have instant gratification and you have delayed gratification, or like working on a business. That's basically the two options that you always have. Now, in that moment, when you procrastinate on your business and stuff, you call it procrastination, but what it really is that you just want to do instant gratification stuff, like, you know, short form content and, you know, video games like Brawl Stars. If you live in the US and you're like in high school, you definitely know what this is. Literally every single kid plays it, even like middle school probably. And you know what websites, you know, adult sites, and then, you know, more short form content. So you do like this instant gratification stuff because in that moment you prefer to do that instant gratification stuff than to work towards the money that you're going to get in the future. In that moment, you prefer to do the instant gratification stuff, like these 4 things right here, obviously, among other things like addictions, like, you know, smoking and stuff. You prefer to do those over working towards getting money in the future, working towards a business, working on a business to have future success. So you need to make sure that this desire to do this outweighs this. You need to have a super strong desire. You need to constantly have in your head, you need to constantly imagine, like, wow, there's this huge goal that I want to work towards. There's this lifestyle that I just wish that I could live. I dream of living, and I can work towards achieving that right now. So obviously I'm going to do that. I don't care about this stuff right now. I want to work towards that future goal, that future lifestyle. So yeah, it's basically just which one do you want to do more right now in this moment. It doesn't matter in the long term or in the future. Delayed gratification is still, you know, you desire doing delayed gratification in that moment because you get future results. So even though you're not getting results right now, you still do delayed gratification instead because you're being promised that you're going to get something in the future because of it. So delayed gratification still has some sort of desire behind it. Otherwise you wouldn't do it. People only do things if they have a reason, if they have a desire to do that. So you only do instant gratification because you desire that more. You literally want to do that more in that moment. Even though you don't have desire to work on the business itself, you somewhat have a desire to work on the business because of the results, not the thing itself, not the business itself, but the money that comes from it. If you genuinely love your business like I do right now, like I'm working on right now, I love making videos like these, and I love like, scripting and preparing videos like these, then your desire to work on your business will be much, much higher because you have two motivators actually. You have the motivator of the future promise that you're going to get. You're going to get money from the business, but also you even love doing it anyway. So even if the money doesn't come, you still love doing it anyways. So the solution to this, because I don't just, tell you stuff and I don't give you solution, is that you need to sit down and make yourself a super specific goal lifestyle that you want to live. I want the exact location, the exact country, the exact location of that country, like super, super specific. Like I'm talking like down to like, if you want to live in like a skyscraper or something, I'm talking down to like the floor that you're going to live in, like that specific. And super specific, your lifestyle, your schedule, what you're going to do every single day, the places that you're going to go to. Literally write down every specific thing without limit at all, like your mannerisms throughout the day that you're going to have. So like if you see something unorganized on like a table or like the floor or something, or if you see like a mess, or if you see like clothes on the floor, you're going to like pick it up. So like your mannerisms, literally down to your mannerisms that you do every single day, where specifically you want to live, not like a country, not like a region, not like Europe or something. I'm talking like in the middle of the Swiss Alps, or like the northeast section of Dubai, and the people that you're going to see every day. So like which workers at like restaurants and stuff are you going to see? And even like what content you're going to consume. So like, are you going to watch YouTube videos while you're in like Japan or like Dubai or something? Who are you going to consume? Like what videos are you going to watch? Are you going to watch like business content to grow your business, or like masculinity and like dating content? Or are you going to watch like Beta Squad or something, or like Sidemen? And also like what music are you going to listen to? When are you going to listen to that music? And the places that you're going to see every single day. So are you going to, take a walk in the park right after you wake up? Or are you going to go a specific place for dinner, like a restaurant or something, or like the convenience store or something? And also just kind of your attitude throughout the day. Like what kind of vibe do you carry with you? Do you have like a negative vibe, positive vibe? Obviously a positive vibe is better. And obviously the larger stuff too, like your house, like it doesn't just need to be the ultra specific stuff, also the big obvious stuff. And all of this should be very ambitious, but you can still kind of like grasp the fact that it's possible. You need to make sure that you have it in your mind that this is still possible, even though this is crazy, even though it sounds like a dream, even though it's a huge goal, it still needs to be possible in your mind. And constantly remind yourself of this ideal life, of this ideal lifestyle, of this, dream lifestyle that you've always wanted to live, with the vision boards. So vision boards are actually super useful. I should probably bold this. I look at a vision board every single day. This is going to keep your ideal lifestyle at the very forefront of your mind, like at the front of your brain, so that you constantly focus on working towards it through your business and through making money, because obviously you're going to need money to achieve that dream lifestyle. So you have like time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, all that stuff. Because what happens is that if you don't constantly remind yourself of this dream lifestyle, and you're not actually like obsessed with your goal, and I mean like obsessed, then you're not going to want to work towards it as much. You're going to fall back into instant gratification because you're going to want to do those activities more in that moment, because you've forgotten about your goal. That's not at the forefront of your mind. You're not constantly thinking about that dream lifestyle. So the most effective vision board, and the easiest one and the least homosexual one, is that just save images that you like on Pinterest and curate your entire Pinterest feed. If you already use Pinterest, which you probably don't, just like make a new account, but curate that entire Pinterest feed just to that dream lifestyle, just with a bunch of images of what you would want your life to look like. And constantly remove the old pictures on Pinterest that you don't like, and you've seen a bunch, you've like seen it for like a week, like 2 weeks in a row, and it's getting kind of old. And just like keep adding new images whenever you have free time. So you just want to have like a huge vision board of a ton of images, and just like keep getting rid of the old ones and then cycling new ones in. So your vision board's constantly fresh and it's constantly changing, so you don't get bored of it. Because if you get bored of it, then you're not going to be consistently looking at it every single day, which is important, right? Because you're going to want to look at your vision board every single day at 3 times, right after you wake up, whenever you have free time, and right before you go to bed. And if it's not interesting, if it's not constantly something new, something interesting, because if it's not constantly something new, something interesting, something novel, then you're going to stop doing it because it's just the same images and you've already seen that, dude. So ritualize it, put it into your routine, put in your schedule, I don't know, whatever. But like make sure that you look at your vision board at least 3 times every single day. This is extremely important because that is going to keep your dream lifestyle at the forefront of your mind once again, because you're not going to do stupid, instant gratification stuff. Instead, you're going to be getting money. Okay, so I realized that took a while, so I'm going to be a little bit faster now. Reason 3, you don't believe it's possible, right? You just simply don't think that you can actually achieve that dream lifestyle. Even when you have a clear ideal lifestyle, you might not think that it's actually possible. 2 reasons why this is because it's so ambitious, it's so big, that you really just don't believe in yourself that you can achieve it. And the second one is that you just don't know how to get there, right? You're lost on the path. Okay, the solution to it being really ambitious is that you want to surround yourself with people who are actually getting the results that you want to achieve, and they're focused. Let me fix this mic really quick. And they're focused on the path towards their ideal lifestyle. So you want people who are just like you, they're like-minded, and they're grinding, they're working towards their dream lifestyle, their ideal lifestyles. Because if you surround yourself with those people, it's like, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. It's kind of cringe, but it's true. It's popular for a reason. So just surround yourself with a bunch of people who are also grinding. Simple as that. And you want to give yourself proof of concept. And this is really powerful because if they're just like you, they're the same age as you, they're doing the same business model as you, then you're really going to have that proof of concept that, they're literally just like me. And the only difference between me and them is that they have a successful business and I don't. And that shows that I can actually achieve that. That's going to give you really good proof of concept that you can actually do that. That's going to be like another burst of motivation to keep you going, to, keep you pushing on that path towards your ideal lifestyle, to your goal, to start getting money online. So yeah, this is going to catalyze your progress, and more importantly, make sure that you stay on the path. So you don't, let's say that this is your path. So you're right here. I have a couple pictures for this. Yeah, I have a couple pictures for that to show that. But let's say that you're here, and let's say that this is your target, right? If you don't have anybody with you, you're going to be lost on the path. So you're going to be, going towards it, and, you fall into a rut, right? And you start making some backwards progress, and then you make more progress, and then you fall into a rut. And then let's say that you see a new business model here, and then you try to do that, you try to achieve that business model, but then, you stopped over here because you saw another business model over here, and just look at how much more effort that is. And what, let me just erase all this. What having like-minded people around you, just like you, is going to do is it's going to kind of be like a checks and balance system for everybody. You're going to have a much clearer and straighter path towards your goal. Let's say, maybe it curves around a little bit. Maybe you still mess up a little bit, and this is like some mini ruts and stuff where you're not making direct progress towards it, but you're always going to be making some decent progress. Maybe you mess up a little bit like that, but it's nothing crazy where you go like that, So it's just kind of like a checks and balance system. You want to surround yourself with like-minded people who are also on the path towards achieving their dream lifestyles, and people who are, even further along the path than you are, who are already making money online. And you can do this by joining free or paid communities of people who are just like you. And hey, guess what? I have one of those. Yeah, there's the link. You can type that in. And you can find these communities by, number one, joining small YouTubers communities. So there's a ton of small YouTubers on YouTube. You've probably seen a bunch of them. You probably watch a bunch of them. So like, here's just a couple of them. You can see these are a bunch of small channels, not that many subscribers. So like, there's a bunch of small business focused YouTube channels, just like me. And they tend to have free communities, just like me. I have a Discord server. Here's the link once again. Yeah, the more of these channels that you find and the more of them that you watch, you're going to see that most of them and pretty much all of them have some sort of, free Discord server or free school community. I'm going to get more into that in a second. But yeah, you're going to want to join a bunch of these because these are a bunch of like-minded people if they're also joining it. And number 2 is just searching on school. So if you don't know what school is, it's just kind of like a civilized form of Discord. It's kind of like a forum style page. And there's free communities, there's paid communities. Like you can see, there's paid ones, and there's paid ones, and there's free ones. It's just more civilized and education focused Discord, if you didn't know already. And this is, if you just type in school.com, this is what's going to pop up. And you can just kind of like search on here for people who are just trying to start making money online. And you're going to find some good communities. So many people are starting to make money online, and especially through the YouTube business model that I always talk about in my videos. You can see pretty much any one of my videos, and I talk about the YouTube business model that I'm literally doing right now. I'm practicing what I preach. And there are so many small channels that are making good money from doing the small YouTube channel business model, which like I don't even know the specific name for it, like the actual name. But you're going to want to surround yourself with these people, a bunch of these small channels, a bunch of people who are starting to make money online, because that's going to lead to it seeming much more achievable, right? You're going to think like, they're just like me for real. And you're constantly going to hear their success stories, and, you're going to see their achievements, and you're going to see new milestones that they're achieving, like 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers even. You're going to be able to see how they're progressing in their stories. So you're going to be able to see from day one how they started, and the different twists and turns and all of the different directions that they've been in and the progress that they've made. And you're going to be able to see all of that. And now they're successful. You can literally see how they've progressed from starting from nothing and making a bunch of mistakes, having like a horrible YouTube channel, not being able to speak to a camera, to having multiple thousand subscribers, multiple hundred subscribers, and making good money from YouTube. Because you don't need hundreds of thousands of subscribers to make money from YouTube. It doesn't just have to be from ad revenue. It can actually be from selling a product to your fan base, which is what I teach with the YouTube business model, which I don't have like a fancy name for. But you'll literally see how they're going further on their path to success. You can see like all the twists and turns that they're going through, and you can learn how they act and how they think so that you could just replicate it. And instead of you having a bunch of twists and turns, instead, let me get out the pen, you'll just have a straight shot. It'll be much easier for you because they've already done all of the hard work for you. They've already learned, they've already experienced everything, and you can just learn how to do it the fast way from their mistakes, which is awesome. And it's probably not going to be like a perfectly straight line. It's probably going to be like, something more like that. But you get what I mean. It's going to be a lot faster. It's going to take a lot less time because like every single pixel along this line, if so to say, it's like more effort, more stress, more work. So if you can make it just a straight line, that's going to mean that it's faster. That's going to mean that it's less effort, less stressful. And obviously that's much better than having to go through each of these twists and turns yourself. And here is a bonus because you stuck to the end. So make your goal of, X dollars a month, $10,000 a month, whatever. A bunch of little baby steps on the huge staircase to your goal, to your ideal lifestyle, to making money online. A bunch of these mini goals. You're going to want to have a ton of, like a bunch of small goals leading up to your big goal, your huge goal that you want to make X dollars a month and you want to, live this ideal lifestyle to keep you on the path and to not get lost, right? Here is, a beta male who has no mini goals. So he starts pretty well on the path. Maybe his progress slows down a bit. Maybe he's going a little bit off the path. But, he's back on track. And then, whoa, what goes on here? Whoa, he's going crazy. Maybe he's going a little bit closer, but then he stops. And then he goes way backwards. Yeah, and then he falls back into addictions like gooning. If you know, you know. But here is an alpha who has mini goals. So even if they stray off the path a little bit, they have a bunch of these little mini goals to keep them on track. So let's say that they mess up a little bit, but, they eventually reach the mini goal. But it was like not a perfect line. But that's a lot better than if you have no mini goals and you're lost on the path, because this is like a lot of work to go on this path. So you get lost on the path and then you mess up a bunch and then you fall back into gooning. But with these mini goals, they kind of keep you on track. So you just have to like get to this next goal. But like even if you mess up a little bit, this is on a micro scale and this is on a huge macro scale. That's like your entire life is ruined from this, right? So you just have to go, mini goal to mini goal, and you just have to go, from dot to dot to dot, just like those, like, I don't even know what they're called. They're like line, there's like a bunch of dots and they all have like a number, and you just have to like draw a bunch of lines, if you know what I'm talking about. And, soon enough, before you even know it, you're at your goal, you're at your big goal. And the journey was actually fun because you were always, looking forward to and working towards this next goal and this next goal and this next goal. And you always had this huge goal in mind that you eventually wanted to achieve, but you were just focusing on what was right in front of you, which was this next small goal. Mini goals will give you something directly in front of you to focus on that's actually achievable and actually realistic. So this is kind of like the zoomed out perspective where, you're right here and you want to achieve this goal right here, this huge goal right here. And then the micro scale, like micro and macro, the micro is like these mini goals, what you want to do right now, what you want to focus on right now, that's going to eventually lead to you reaching the macro goal. It's so much more achievable and realistic if you just have to, make this much distance, just this much, instead of having to do this much, all of this. So you just have to do this much distance, this much distance, this much distance, and this is so much easier. This is so much manageable, so much less stressful, and you're not going to get lost because you just have to do this much work. That's barely any work. That's not going to take that long. So just think of them as like footsteps on a trail or something. So there's like, a bunch of footsteps. You just have to keep following the footsteps. And, once again, join the Discord server. And if you don't join it, then you are a gay twink.